for straight wins. 4 straight Mondays, waking up with a smile on your face if you're a Chicago Bears fan. But let's be honest, in this city, when it comes to football, nothing is ever simple. You win by double digits, you dominate on defense, the run game finally clicks, and yet, here we are, barely 24 hours after the game, already asking the big question, should we be concerned about Caleb Williams? Now, before we get carried away, take a deep breath. The Bears are 4-2. That's right, 4 wins, 2 losses. If you had said that 6 weeks ago, people would have laughed. But that's the reality right now. This team is rolling. But just because the team is winning doesn't mean we can't talk about what's working and what still needs work. And the quarterback is front and center in that conversation. Let's start with the obvious. No, Caleb Williams did not play a good game against the Saints. There's no sugarcoating it. He looked off. The accuracy wasn't there. The decision-making was shaky at times. He scrambled when he didn't need to. He bailed from clean pockets. And on more than one occasion, he missed easy yardage on the ground because he was trying to play hero ball instead of just tucking it and running for 5 or 6 yards. That's frustrating to watch when you know how talented this kid is. But here's the thing. Not every game is going to be a masterpiece. Even the best quarterbacks in the league have rough outings. Progress in the NFL, especially at quarterback, isn't linear. It's not a straight line from rookie to franchise star. There are bumps, setbacks, and growing pains. And the Bears coaching staff has been crystal clear about that from the start. Ben Johnson laid it out weeks ago. There would be ups and downs, and this team would need to weather them. This game? It was one of those downs. But that doesn't mean it's time to panic. In fact, if anything, it's a good sign that the Bears can win even when their young quarterback isn't lighting up the stat sheet. Because let's face it, how many times have we seen this team fold when the quarterback struggles? Not this time. The Bears won by 12 points. That's not nothing. That says something about where this team is headed. And let's not ignore some of the context. Caleb didn't get a ton of help. A couple of catchable balls hit the turf. There were moments where the receivers didn't do him any favors. That scramble drill late in the game, Rome should have caught that ball. That kind of stuff matters. The margin for error is small in this league, especially for a rookie still learning the speed and complexity of NFL defenses. And yet, despite all that, Caleb only turned the ball over once. He didn't spiral. He didn't implode. He didn't force 3 or 4 interceptions trying to make something happen. That shows growth. That shows maturity. That's the kind of development you want to see even in a tough performance. He protected the football better than his opponent did. And in this league, that alone can swing a game. Now, are there things he needs to clean up? Absolutely. He needs to trust the offense more. Trust his reads. Stay in the pocket a beat longer. Take the easy yardage when it's there. You don't need to play like a magician every play. Sometimes being boring is what wins games. And that's part of the growth process. Learning when to be aggressive and when to take what the defense gives you. Let's also remember something important here. This isn't happening in a vacuum. This is a rookie quarterback learning a new offense, building chemistry with new teammates, operating in a system that's only just starting to find its rhythm. And yet, the Bears are winning games. That matters. That's the kind of environment you want for a young quarterback. One where he can grow without being asked to carry the entire franchise on his back every single Sunday. But of course, this is Chicago. And in Chicago, patience is always in short supply. The moment a quarterback has a bad game, the calls start. The murmurs get louder. Put in Tyson Bagent, people are yelling. Really? Are we doing this again? Let's just take a second and talk this through. First of all, the Bears have won 4 games in a row. That alone should be enough to silence any talk of a quarterback change. This team is hot. The locker room is locked in. You don't mess with that, especially not when your quarterback is still learning and improving week by week. Caleb Williams was the number 1 overall pick for a reason, because of his ceiling, because of what he could become. And you don't chase that upside by giving up after 1 or 2 rocky games. Second, Tyson Bagent is still developing too. Let's not act like he's a finished product just waiting for his shot. Could he start in this league one day? Maybe. But is now the time to find out? Not when you have Caleb Williams. Not when you're 4-2. Not when you're trying to build something long-term. You don't throw away a potential star quarterback just because of a few growing pains. And look, Even if you want to go there, what's the best-case scenario with Bajent? You hope he becomes Brock Purdy? A high-floor, mid-ceiling game manager? That's not a knock. Purdy's a good player. But let's not pretend that's the ceiling you draft number 1 overall for. Caleb Williams has a much higher upside. His talent is rare. And if there's even a chance he becomes the quarterback everyone believes he can be, you have to ride that out. You don't cut bait after 6 starts. You invest. You develop. You believe. So yeah, Caleb needs to improve. And he will. But the key thing is that the team around him is strong. The run game is humming. The defense is flying around and making plays. This coaching staff has found a groove since the bye week. They're getting the most out of this roster. And that allows Caleb the space to learn and grow without being forced to win every game by himself. And maybe that's the most encouraging part. For once, it doesn't all come down to the quarterback. This Bears team is building something real. They're establishing an identity. They're finding success on the ground. They're playing tough, physical football. And that gives Caleb the best possible chance to develop into the quarterback everyone hopes he can be. While the focus always falls on the quarterback, especially one with as much hype as Caleb Williams, the truth is this team is winning because it's finally found its identity. And honestly, it's a beautiful thing to watch. The Chicago Bears are no longer trying to be something they're not. They're not pretending to be a pass-happy offense. They're not living and dying by chunk plays. What they're doing is leaning into a physical, bruising, smash-mouth style of football. And it's working. You can feel it when you watch them play. The tone is different. The offensive line is firing off the ball. The tight ends are burying defenders. The backs are running with purpose and vision. The defense? They're flying to the football, hitting like it's 1985, and forcing turnovers like they get bonuses for it. That kind of football wears opponents down. It travels. It holds up late in games. And that's why this team is suddenly a problem for anyone standing across from them on Sundays. Look at the run game alone. It's been completely transformed. 2 weeks ago, this team was sitting near the bottom of the league in rushing efficiency. Now, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more consistent and dangerous ground attack anywhere in the NFL. DeAndre Swift has exploded in this offense. Back-to-back 100-yard games for the first time in his Bears career. He's seeing holes, hitting them with confidence, and running through contact. And he's not doing it alone. Kyle Manengai had his breakout performance against the Saints. 13 carries, tough yards, decisive runs. The kind of performance that earns more touches going forward. And that's exactly the role you want for him. 10 to 15 carries per game, rotating with Swift, keeping both backs fresh, keeping defenses guessing. When the Bears commit to running the ball 30 or more times a game, good things happen. They control the tempo. They dominate time of possession. They take pressure off their rookie quarterback. And there were defenses out. And you can't talk about the run game without showing love to the guys up front. This offensive line is starting to gel. Early in the season, the pass protection was the bright spot. Now, it's the run blocking that's taking center stage. Guys are opening lanes. They're pulling with precision. They're finishing blocks. It's not flashy, but it's effective. And it's the foundation of what this team wants to be. Then you look at the tight ends. Cole Kmet may not be filling up the stat sheet right now, but he's doing dirty work in the trenches. His blocking has been crucial to this run game taking off. And so has the emergence of Loveland. Sure, he hasn't had his big game as a pass catcher yet, but the guy is out there pancaking defenders. That matters. That's culture. That's physicality. That's the stuff that shows up in film rooms on Mondays and gets a locker room fired up. Durham Smythe, the other tight end in the rotation, deserves credit too. Quietly, he's played a solid role as a blocker and occasional target. That tight end room is a big part of why the run game is working. And when you've got multiple tight ends who can hold their own in the trenches, it gives your offense versatility. You can stay in heavy personnel and still keep the defense honest. You can motion, shift, and create mismatches. That's what Ben Johnson wants. And let's not overlook Johnson's impact on this offense. People love to talk about his passing concepts, his creativity in the route trees, the way he schemes guys open. But what often gets missed is that his system starts with the run. That's how it was in Detroit. That's what we're starting to see here. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery ran wild in that Lions offense. Not because they were superhuman, but because Johnson built a system that stressed the defense with movement and physicality. That's happening in Chicago now. The Bears are running the ball, setting up the play action, and giving their young quarterback cleaner looks. That's the vision. That's what this offense is building toward. We saw early in the season what Caleb Williams can do when he's hot. He can put the team on his back and move the ball through the air. We've seen more recently what this run game can do when it's clicking. Now the goal is to get both rolling at the same time. And if that happens, if this offense starts to fire on all cylinders, it's not crazy to say they could be one of the most dangerous units in the entire league. And what makes it even scarier for opponents is what's happening on the other side of the ball. This Bears defense is flying around. They're playing with speed, with aggression, with attitude. They're not just tackling, they're punishing. You could see it against the Saints. Alvin Kamara was taking shots all day. Checkdowns, screens, inside runs didn't matter. He was getting lit up. That's what this defense is doing now. They're swarming. They're communicating. They're bringing the heat from different spots. It all starts with Dennis Allen and the adjustments he's made since the bye week. This defense has completely turned a corner. Remember the first few weeks of the season? Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't generate pressure. Couldn't get off the field on third down. All of that has flipped. This group has been playing lights out for the last month. And they're doing it without stars in every spot. That's coaching. That's culture. They're finding ways to get creative. Bringing blitzes from the secondary. Using Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon to confuse quarterbacks. Mixing up coverages and disguising pressure. And it's working. They're forcing turnovers. They're creating short fields for the offense. And most importantly, they're setting the tone. This isn't a defense that waits to react. They're the ones dictating how the game is played. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are circulating across the sports world, and the latest buzz involves none other than the Chicago Bears and one of the most recognizable voices in football commentary, Joe Buck. Sources close to the matter suggest that Buck, whose name is synonymous with Sunday NFL broadcasts, didn't mince words when discussing the Bears' performance in recent weeks, sparking a storm of speculation among fans and pundits alike. While Buck is known for his measured, professional commentary, insiders hint that his recent remarks about the Bears were far from complimentary. Allegedly, during a post-game segment, Buck criticized the team's offensive strategy and questioned the decision-making behind some of their high-profile plays. The critique, subtle to casual viewers, but sharp enough for seasoned analysts to catch, reportedly centered on the lack of cohesion in the Bears' passing game and the recurring inconsistencies in their defensive lineup. Word is spreading quickly, and social media has exploded with debates over Buck's commentary. Bears fans are split. Some are defending the team, claiming that Buck's take is overly harsh and lacks context, while others are quietly nodding along, acknowledging the struggles that have plagued the team this season. Meanwhile, sports blogs and podcasts are dissecting every syllable of Buck's statements, trying to read between the lines. Could this be a hint of deeper frustrations from the broadcasting world about the Bears' trajectory, or is it merely the commentary of a seasoned analyst calling it as he sees it? Adding fuel to the fire, anonymous sources suggest that internal discussions at the Bears' management level have already touched on Buck's criticism. While no official response has been issued, the murmurs alone are enough to keep this story alive, feeding endless speculation about potential changes in coaching strategies or even roster adjustments. The rumor mill insists that Buck's critique could have a ripple effect, influencing public perception and, possibly, the team's approach to upcoming games. Whether Buck's comments will result in anything tangible remains uncertain. But one thing is clear. In the world of football, when someone with Buck's visibility speaks, even a passing critique becomes headline news. For now, Bears fans will have to watch closely, wondering if the voice that echoes through NFL Sundays has just delivered a warning or merely shared an honest observation. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.